Hello, and welcome to the U.S. History Online Instructional Module. Today's topic is using Edmodo.com for collaborative learning. The target standard will be on Reconstruction, SS USH10, particularly paying attention to 10b, but also incorporating some other elements of this standard. For those not familiar with Edmodo, it's a website that is basically social media, really, because it gives you a lot of the same functionality as you find on something like Facebook. But this, of course, is educational in nature. The way it works is that teachers, students, and parents can sign up. They can log in, they can have access to much of the same content, and you can hook up not only with people from your class, not only with people from your school, but Edmodo users from around the country and even the world. It's pretty amazing that way, and the number of resources you can get your hands on is fairly limitless for that reason. It's really easy to get started. You sign up, you provide some information about your school, yourself, what you intend to use it for, and then you create some groups. Oftentimes this is simply your classes, your first period class, your second period class, your gifted group, your fourth period class. You can use it for after school clubs that you may sponsor, and in some cases you can even do student groups within a class. For example, within your fourth period economics class you may have 3 student groups that get different assignments or utilize different resources. Well, you can create a group for each one of them. Because it's so fast to do that, you might want to create different groups as you go through the semester. It takes just a couple of minutes to set one up. Then you invite students, whether by sending them a link or by giving them a code that they type in and log on with. They can do it on their phone, on a tablet, on a desktop, on a laptop. Really versatile platform. Students, if they haven't used Edmodo before, they will create a login, they will join the group to which you invited them, and then they see what you've posted, whether it be messages, content, assignments. Sometimes you might just want to have everyone watch a video at home, so post a link. Sometimes you may want to give a reminder about a quiz coming up, post that. Sometimes you may have assignments that you grade subjectively with commentary on the site. Other times it's an objective grade. Edmodo allows you to do both because there's a function on here where you can grade and score assignments, and it's called the gradebook function. It keeps track for you. It's really helpful. Here's an example of an assignment that I once utilized. Again, we're taking a look at Standard 10, and I asked the students to focus on the Freedmen's Bureau by providing facts about land distribution, schools started during Reconstruction, another fact about the Freedmen's Bureau, and then something pertaining to 10d. I specified that they can't duplicate any classmates' facts. So this ensures that they read each other's work, which is great, because they just might learn something. They are able to see what other people have generated and come up with, and that's beneficial. It's almost like sharing in a dialogue in class, but in written form. And then finally, the students are asked to respond to someone else's post. If a classmate posted something that the student found thought-provoking or important, something along those lines, then the student is to respond to it and talk about why that student comment struck them. So you've got collaborative learning in a number of different ways. It's just that easy. Here's how it worked for one assignment. For fact number 1 about the land, I provided something about Sherman's Field Order number 15. For fact 2 about schooling, I provided something about Hampton University. For Fact 3, I provided some information about the Freedmen's Bureau. And Fact 4, about the backlash to Reconstruction, I shared some information about certain measures that were taken to oppress Southern blacks even after the abolition of slavery. Number 5, I skipped because I went first and therefore was not in a position to comment on any student work, as my students would have done after me. Here's how it looks. You can see that the student has followed my lead with a variety of information about land, about education, about functions of the Freedmen's Bureau, and then about the backlash, including black codes. Comment number 5 is the student responding to a classmate's fourth response. The classmate was Sable, as you can see, and the classmate had commented on how Morehouse had students that were black and white, and that surprised this student who was responding to it. Fairly similar to the first one, only a little bit thinner. And you've got all the responses 1, 2, 3, 4. She forgot to do number 5, commenting on a peer's post, so she went back a little bit later and posted that, commenting on what she had seen from a classmate. So you've got students interacting with their knowledge, you've got students responding to each other, you've got the truly collaborative learning, interactive learning that makes use of technology in the best way. The third student model is another student's responses to the same assignment. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, we've got land, we've got schooling, we've got Freedmen's Bureau's functioning, and number 4 we have backlash with some information about the Ku Klux Klan. Post number 5 is this student, Jasmine, commenting on what Cairo had written, and what Jasmine does is actually clarify and elaborate on Cairo's post by providing some additional information. So a subsequent student would see that note and be even further along in terms of his or her own understanding of the content. So using Edmodo is beneficial for a variety of reasons. Number 1, it's using technology. Students are very, very willing to use it, of course, as you know, and it allows them to learn and produce anywhere, whether at school or at home. As I mentioned, it's interactive and collaborative in nature. You're going green. There's no paper to manage or keep track of. You're not going to be standing in line at the copier, so it's really nice. Students can even have notifications sent to their device when a new post is made by the teacher. So let's say school is out for the day, it's 4:30, and you remember you forgot to tell one of your classes about an assignment or a deadline or some sort of instruction. You can make a post in Edmodo, and if the students have reminders activated, then they'll be notified that there has been a post by you, and they will know to look for it, get the update, and then be able to respond accordingly. So that's a really nice function that they can stay up to speed with whatever you happen to put on there, and by the same token, students can get you their work anytime. It's really fast to grade. You can type in comments. Most of us type faster than we write, and so it allows you that benefit there. And then finally, it's very, very adaptable. There is a grade book in which you can score everything. There's a class roster built in. You can note whether a student's work is late, on time. You can provide little emoji type things as a smiley face or exclamation point, things like that, as well as, of course, your commentary and feedback on the post. What's great is you can refer students to each other's work. Now, you don't want to do this all the time because privacy issues, of course, and out of respect for the students' own privacy, but there are certain cases where you may find it beneficial to refer student A to what student B did, and then you can have him look at her post and learn from it, or you can point out something to him that may be beneficial. So lots of ways to use Edmodo. All of them are easy. All of them are free. All of them are pretty appealing to students because they love using technology, and this gives them a great way to do it. It even looks like Facebook. That's some students' first impression. It looks like a Facebook wall, only you're using it for the best of intentions.